Hey everyone, it's Jordan from Fish Keeping Made Easy, and today I'm going to discuss the growth rate of my Geophagus Brasiliensis. So I've done a few videos talking about this Geophagus, and of course a lot of people have noticed how large he is. Now, Geophagus Brasiliensis, or the pearl cichlid, can grow to around 30 centimetres, and I have to say that mine's isn't actually that far off this size. So in this video I'm going to show you how much it's grown since August 2019 when I first got it, and how much its colours and patterns have changed over that time also. So this is the 19th of August 2019, this was the first time I ever saw these guys, and I took a photo of them before I bought them. It's funny because all the Geophagus at this point are the exact same size, but the one I've got now grew into an absolute monster, and at this point they're probably around 5 or 6 centimetres, or probably an inch and a half. In this photo they're quite pale, but in this next photo here from a few days after having them, you can see they've coloured up a little bit after they've been in the tank. One of the employees in the shop said they were probably around 5 or 6 months old. As you can see at this point they're quite small, but they still seem to have very large heads. So this next photo is from a couple of months later, and you can see already that the fish is substantially much larger. Those barbs in the background are probably about 8 or 9 centimetres, so at this point the Geophagus must be around 9 or 10 centimetres. You can also see that it's developed a lot more coloration on its fins and on its body. But in this next photo, which was taken just over a week later, you can see that they're still pretty small in the grand scheme of things. So the Geophagus in the middle of this photo is actually the one I currently have right now, and you can see already that it's just that little bit bigger than the one below it. This was also how nice my tank was before the Geophagus got really big and basically just started destroying everything. So just a few months later, you can see again there's some substantial growth and changes in the Geophagus. It's starting to look like a mini version of what it looks like now. You can see that the red on the fins is starting to develop as well. You can see its mouth is substantially larger as well. It was at this point it started to kind of destroy plants and would be sifting through the sand quite aggressively. So I would probably say that photo from February 2020 to this one, which is the 29th of April 2020, is probably one of the biggest significant jumps. As you can see now that the Geophagus just looks way larger, it's developed way more of the pattern that it's got now, and the red and its fins have just got way larger. And I think it's at this point that the Geophagus is starting to establish itself as a dominant male in the tank. As you can see, just over a month or so later, how much more the colours are starting to develop. And the craziest thing is, I haven't even had this fish for a whole year yet, and already it's looking like a full-grown badass cichlid. And at this point it must be at least sort of 15 or 16 centimetres long. And again, a few months later, we're just seeing even more intense coloration. It's getting a lot more plump, and it's probably at this point, I don't know, we're probably closing in on 20-21 centimetres. So skipping forward 10 months, you can see a massive change in the Geophagus. Its colours are way more intense, that's on its body and its fins. Its body shape is also a lot thicker, so it's a little bit taller now as well as a little bit longer. I think it's probably around 24-25 centimetres at this point. But I would say lengthwise it's started to slow down its growth just that little bit. But still, in 2 years this fish looks absolutely crazy. So that takes us up to January 2022, and I wouldn't say there's significant changes other than changes to the size of his fins. In terms of his body and his length, it's more or less the same size. At this point, the fish is probably about 3 years old, and it's probably the max size he's really going to get to. Now, I could be wrong and he could grow a little bit more, but I don't think there would be any significant changes to him now. So if we look back to when I first got the Geophagus to the Geophagus now, you can see that there's such a significant growth rate with these guys, especially within the first year of their life. So my advice would be, if you do get these guys when they're small, expect them to grow really quickly, as that's basically what happened to me. I was told that they probably will grow to around 20-25 centimetres, but it would take them years to get there, and they grow quite slowly, which is the complete opposite to what I've experienced. Now, the only thing I can think of that I contributed towards its size would be its diet. So my Geophagus is in with a fire eel, and it has been for the last couple of years, and this fire eel obviously needs a little bit of a specialist diet, and basically all it eats is earthworms and river shrimp. And of course the Geophagus has been eating this as well, and I don't know if the high protein diet has fueled this growth rate that it's been experiencing. But regardless of that, these guys definitely grow at some rate. So as always, thank you for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.